Howdy, and welcome back to the channel. You got Digital Asset Hutch here, bringing you all the know about the digital asset and US economy space. And as you guys can tell from today's title, we'll be going over who is trying to take control and police and regulate that crypto industry. If you guys enjoyed today's video, go ahead and drop a like below and subscribe. That way you can stay up to date with all of my most recent videos. But we're going to go ahead and dive into coin market cap first so we can see what's going on in the markets. And as you notice, we still haven't moved much from that initial drop on Friday. We are still hovering at around 23.5, 1,600. 36 cents for Cardano and then $1.24 for Polygon. So let's look up that CBBI, and it does show here that we are at that 17, which is where we've been the last couple of days. So we're going to start off with around the Twitter sphere today, because I do think a lot of what's being said on Twitter is kind of where the inspiration came for this video. For the first tweet we are showing today, it's actually nothing to do with the main point. I just thought it was an interesting chart that y'all should pay attention to, because it does look like during the .com, well, boom and correction, we are following that pretty well. So this would be something to pay attention to. Benjamin Cohen's a phenomenal person to follow. He's constantly comparing it to the traditional markets. He has into the cryptoverse. I highly suggest y'all check it out. Let's jump into kind of the main reason we are filming this video for y'all today, and that is just the financial systems and who's trying to now take over that crypto. And as you can see here, a Coinbase survey showed that 80% of Americans believe that the current financial system is unfair. And this could be why people are moving towards crypto, because it is a decentralized space. It doesn't allow you to be controlled and kind of kept in your one spot like some of these financial systems do. Because I know with just the American based, we have accredited investors, we have some of these labels that allow you to invest in some of these quote unquote riskier investments that often give you a better return. And I think crypto kind of allows you not to feel that way. So as you can see here, they're talking about, is there a beef between the SEC and Binance over the most recent news of the SEC trying to crack down on BUSD. Now, I first want to let it be known that Binance in no way is related to BUSD. They said that this was actually just a contract for pretty much marketing, that actually Paxos is the one who owns it. But the whole point is that the SEC is trying to get their foot in the door somewhere, and it looks like they are trying to be the regulators of it. While you have over here the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, they are also trying to say they're wanting to be the ones to regulate it. And if they aren't, possibly an outright ban could be in play. Now, I don't think a ban is definitely the route that they're wanting to take, and I also think that them trying to play stupid and not know anything about crypto is completely wrong, because we have governments buying Bitcoin. You're telling me they don't have any idea how it works if we're going to have Bitcoin on companies' treasuries? So obviously that would be kind of wrong. And what is interesting to point out is that they are trying to say that they want to ban it if they aren't able to protect the customers in the rapidly evolving world. So I kind of thought this was interesting, because why would you want to ban it by protecting it? Why would you not just want to educate them, allow them to make their own decisions? There's this constant feeling that they're protecting you, quote unquote, by not allowing you to make your own decisions, and that's the entire point of Bitcoin, entire point of crypto. It's to give the decision back into your hands, the people's hands, not these centralized entities that think they know what's best for you because they are consumed in their own way of thinking. It has to be this way, you can't go from it. So they point this out and they kind of make it clear to see because they want you to know there's a difference between that central bank digital currency and these stable coins. These stable coins are quote unquote risky, which a lot of them are if you don't read their white papers and you don't do your due diligence on what is backing their actual stableness to the dollar, what is backing their ability to be pegged to that $1. But what they don't want to tell you about these central bank digital currencies that are quote unquote safer because they are backed by the government is it allows the government to see everything about you. They can, if they want their IRS check, they can just go and grab it out of your account because they run and it's backed by them. So be careful of their language, I would say, that they use, because ultimately I don't think it is to protect you. I think it is to control you, because they literally said they would be okay with banning it. Now, I personally don't think the SEC, I don't think the IMF, I don't think the Fed, I don't think any of these bodies should be the one that is regulating it, because like they said, they want to regulate it. I honestly think we should get a new group of people, a new kind of, what we could call industry to make the rules and regulate this, because I think it is its own unique asset class. It kind of partially falls under stocks, kind of partially falls under commodities. It's just a combination of all of these, because it's a new asset, it's new technology, it's something we haven't heard of. So I also want to kind of close it off, because you can see this control, quote unquote, happening within the space as well, because Coinbase is now suspending Binance USD stablecoin, saying it doesn't meet their own unique listing standards. So we're starting to see here that all of these regulations, these rules, there's not one clear-cut answer. Everyone's making their own rules to follow. It's hard to keep track on what is what. And I think that's a scary path to follow, because if you are just making your own rules, then, well, that's going to make the on-ramp, the adoption, a little scary. Because if you can't even point to, oh, that's the rule, this is the one rule for everyone, it allows these bad actors to bend and manipulate it. That's why with just a traditional market, you have the catch-all rule of, if it looks like it's fraud, if it looks like it's insider trading, it probably is. So I think that's what we kind of need to come here, instead of having these unique exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, Kraken. They all have their own rule and rule book. It seems that the SEC just kind of develops for them. So I think instead of the SEC just coming down on, Binance or Binance USD, Kraken, I think they need to start with just establishing a rule book for everyone, instead of trying to crack down on these single exchanges, because they're trying to follow the rules, they just don't know what to follow, because you make them up out of thin air. So you can see here that it's their own process. Coinbase's spokesperson told them their determination to suspend BSUD is based on their own internal monitoring and review process. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have your own, because that's what a lot of these institutions do. They follow FINRA's rules, but in the FINRA online book, it allows them to have their compliance regulations a little stricter. If, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Merrill Lynch, if they want their policies within their own business to be stricter, they can set it that way. But there still is just that solid base foundation of the rules they have to follow, which is what I think we need here in crypto. So that is what I wanted to point out for y'all today. I hope this isn't scaring y'all by any means. I hope it actually kind of urges y'all to make a voice, maybe write a letter to some of your local governing bodies and say, I don't want y'all monitoring and regulating this. I want its own unique, service, its own unique system in place to have these regulating bodies regulated, essentially. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Please drop a like below and stay safe out there. Bye-bye.